NTA International News.
PDP Women Presidential Campaign Rally holds in Nasarawa State. Women enjoined to vote massively for the PDP. Justice Labour Party holds solidarity rally in support of President Goodluck Jonathan. You're welcome to the news on NTA International. My name is Chinedu Obike. 35 eligible candidates from the bereaved families of those who lost their lives during the last recruitment exercise by the Nigerian Immigration Service have been offered employment by the federal government. The bereaved families also received a token of cash as the federal government expressed deep condolences to the families. State House correspondent Shegula Wale reports.
45 young members of the bereaved families were presented for recruitment based on the promise of President Jonathan to offer employment to 3 members of the bereaved families in the next recruitment exercise by the Nigerian Immigration Service. However, 10 of them were found ineligible. As a result of this, 35 eligible candidates, which included women, were presented their offer of employment at the ceremony presided over by President Jonathan. The president described the incident as regrettable and promised never to allow such incident to repeat itself again.
And I have to admonish government functionaries, while coming out with a program that you know will involve a number of people, you must be mindful about the implications. Those who work with me know how, even if you keep somebody waiting, where supposed not to wait, I get angry. I always insist appointments to be given and indicate time so that somebody does not come and hang around the office unnecessarily. I don't take delight in seeing people queuing up to see me. I get angry when I see so many people who are not properly managed. Not to talk about debt resulting from the government activities. I promise this will be the last of such incidents.
A sum of 5 million naira was given each of the bereaved family, which the president explained was a show of government's commitment and concern.
The little cash we are providing to the parents or the guardians of these people and the 3 just places is not a compensation, because you cannot actually compensate debt, even though the lawyers may have such terms in their law books. But to me, you cannot replace somebody with debt.
The bereaved family members expressed profound gratitude to the president and the federal government for a promise kept.
The loss has been very painful. It will continue to be very painful for a very long while, but we've been picking up the pieces. We thank you, Mr. President, for the promise made. We equally thank you for the promise kept. We are profoundly grateful.
It will be recalled that 15 young candidates lost their lives during the recruitment exercise conducted by the Nigerian Immigration Service in March 2014. In the State House, Segun Lawale, NTA News.
The People's Democratic Party has enjoined women to embark on a house-to-house campaign for the party's victory in Nasarawa State and the nation at large. The Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State and other speakers made the appeal in Lafayette at the PDP Women Rally and charged the women to come out en masse to vote for President Goodluck Jonathan. Moplang Dakok monitored the event.
The women and other supporters came out in their numbers to drum out their support for the re-election bid of President Jonathan for continuity of the transformation agenda. The Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Damishi Baroluka, assured the women that the PDP is working assiduously to ensure that women are well catered for in the second tenure.
I therefore call on you to go home with this gospel of Agabi, to go home with this gospel of Goodluck Jonathan, so that PDP Nasarawa State will come back to its own original position, as it were.
PDP chairman in Nasarawa State, Chief Yunana Ilia, along with other speakers, advised the women to ensure that they collect their permanent voter cards to enable them vote for President Goodluck Jonathan in the general elections.
The people of Nasarawa State have no regret for the vote of the president in 2011. And because of that, the people of Nasarawa State are still ready and keen to vote again.
Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
Traditional rulers from Ogbea Kingdom of Bayelsa State have appealed to elder statesmen in the country to close ranks to work for the re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan. The traditional rulers made the appeal when they paid a thank you visit to Chief Edwin Clark for his support for President Goodluck Jonathan since 1999. Mie Ogidi reports.
The chiefs of Ogbea Kingdom commended Edwin Clark for his consistency and fatherly role he is playing to form a common front among the South-South people and building bridges of unity with leaders from other ethnic groups to ensure victory for the PDP.
Also aware of the insults and attacks of some people on their personality for the defense and support you are giving to our son. Let us not forget that the Niger Delta region have been feeding and sustaining the economy of our country. Let Nigerians allow the goose that lays the golden eggs to also have a taste of his eggs.
Chief Clark was obviously pleased with the show of coming from the president's kinsmen. He told his continued support for President Goodluck Jonathan indicated president level all the current administration and there is
we have very good relationship with the Northern. Right from 1991.
Chief Clark, however, appealed to all aggrieved PDP members to close ranks and work for the victory of the party. In Abuja, Mie Ogedi, NTA News.
Away from political reports, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has urged Nigerians to disregard media publications alleging corruption and insensitivity by staff and management of the commission. Spokesman of the commission, Wilson Ojare, who briefed journalists in Abuja, said it is aimed at causing disaffection between the commission and the federal government. Correspondent Basi Taikbang reports.
The EFCC spokesperson who observed that the allegation of rift between the chairman and the secretary of the commission, including the alleged report that staff are being owed salaries and entitlements for 3 months, are totally untrue.
It is a matter of regret that a spokesperson of a leading presidential candidate would make such disparaging remark about a national agency that is fighting corruption in Nigeria.
He explained that the commission under the leadership of Ibrahim Lamalde has achieved so much, including staff welfare. Mr. Wilson maintained that EFCC can never be dragged into political frays, also showed journalists fake copy of a letter purported to have originated from the office of the president directing EFCC to investigate some top politicians in opposition parties.
Is to create the impression that EFCC is being used for political purposes, and we are not.
He stated that EFCC is open to criticism, but such must be constructive. Basi Taikbang, NTA News.
Moving on, Nigeria is leading the newly established ECOWAS Zone Maritime Coordinating Center located in Cotonou, comprising 3 other countries. Nigerian delegation to the inauguration of the center, led by the Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade, also had Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Osman Jibrin. Defense correspondent Abdul Qadir Mohammed and reports that Nigerian Navy Captain Abrahaman Zipele is the commander of the center.
Undoubtedly, West African coastal region is endowed. This is because our offshore oil endowment confers on it high commercial possibility and prosperity. On the other hand, the wealth of the Gulf of Guinea is reportedly endangered and being undermined by unregulated fishing activities, illegal oil bunkering, and piracy. Hence, the justification for the newly established Multinational Maritime Coordinating Center. What are the cooperating countries of Nigeria, Benin, Togo, and the landlocked Niger bringing to the table?
Niger is providing a surveillance aircraft.
The role of Nigeria in this business is actually to lead. That's why our ship is here.
We're building on the successes of Operation Prosperity, and this gave birth to the models that we now have.
And this is a modernized form, a projection of our historical links that is so special.
With a Nigerian occupying the driver's seat at the center, the need to collect and generate information from National Maritime Operation Base of participating countries for security, stability, and functionality cannot be underestimated. International dimension to crimes and criminality as a result of globalization has necessitated the need for countries within the region and sub-region to develop strong strategy and synergy to defeat maritime-related crimes on their territorial waters. From the port of the Republic of Benin, Muhammad Abdel Kadri, NTA News.
Thank you, Mohammed. You're watching the news on NTA International. You heard earlier that the PDP Women's Presidential Rally has been held in Lafia, in Nasarawa State, towards the re-election bid of President Goodluck Jonathan.
In 2012, the Nigerian government reduced the amount of subsidy paid on petroleum products and chose to invest its 41% share of the safe subsidy funds into the Subsidy Reinvestment and Empowerment Program, SURE-P. Today, we'll look at the numbers. SURE-P has achieved 50% decrease in maternal mortality rates and 40% decrease in neonatal mortality rates in Nigeria. Over 8,500 skilled workers have been employed for public works. Over 1,000 mass transit buses have been provided for the public, and 40 Priority 1 roads are undergoing maintenance throughout the country. SURE-P has created 185,000 jobs, placed over 20,000 graduates in the Graduate Internship Program, and trained over 1,000 auto technicians at the National Automotive Council. 1,200 health facilities have been supplied with drugs and medical equipment. 520,000 pregnant women have received care, resulting in over 100,000 deliveries in SURE-P MCH facilities. These are just some of the ways SURE-P is making life better for you and I.
SURE-P, delivering service with integrity. NTA International News.
Thanks for joining us again. The Vice Chairman of the National Open University of Nigeria, Professor Vincent Ado-Tenebe, has warned his students and prospective ones to beware of fake study centers parading as agents of the institution. The Vice Chancellor gave this warning in an address to the 13th matriculation ceremony for the 2014 and 2015 academic session of the university held in Abuja. Correspondent Edina Justice brings us details.
The director of the Abuja Studies Center, Ms. Margaret Igeboro, who represented the Vice Chancellor of the university, administered the matriculation oath. While congratulating the students, she enjoined them to be hardworking, pointing out that the vision of the university is to be the foremost institution providing accessible quality education. She noted that the university makes maximum use of ICT by delivering its instructional materials real-time online.
You can interact with your facilitator online. You can ask any question concerning your studies or any material you are reading that you do not understand. The University Governing Council has set up a committee going around the whole country, arresting these individuals, setting up fake study centers. Some of them have been arrested and they will be prosecuted.
Some of the students commended the federal government for the open university education.
The nature of my job demands me to be spontaneously, involved. But here am I doing my master's program that I had longed to do for more than 10 years.
The program in National Open University is well packaged.
One unique thing about the National Open University is that it allows the working class to work and study at the same time. Perhaps this is responsible for the great number of students that apply for the school every year. From Merit House, Metama, Abuja, Edino Justice, NTA News.
The Supervising Minister of Labour and Productivity, Alhaji Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, has described the emergence of Comrade Ali Waba, the newly elected President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, as a step to further unite and build the Nigerian workforce through social dialogue, which is considered as a veritable tool in national development. Alhaji Turaki extended the ministry and parastatal's warmest felicitations to the newly elected executives of the Nigerian Labour Congress, while assuring them of his readiness to continue to partner with the union in line with international best practices in the labour sector. He assured the Waba-led administration to toe the line of established paradigm shift in government-labour relationship to a dialogue-based approach in resolving all labour-related impasses. The minister added that the administration President Goodluck Jonathan is a pro-workers regime as demonstrated by its workers-friendly disposition and policies, and solicited the continuous support of the organized labor union for the transformation agenda, which is aimed at job creation and national infrastructural development. Week in Review is next with Musa Musa.
Hello and welcome to this Week in Review. The week marked 1 year of the gruesome murder of 29 students of the Federal Government College Buniyadi in Yobe State, northeastern Nigeria, by Boko Haram insurgents, which attracted national and global outreach. Marking the 1 year anniversary, President Goodluck Jonathan, represented by the Minister of Science and Technology, Abdul Bulama, meets the parents of the slain students in Damaturu, the state capital. Extending President Jonathan's sympathy, the minister reassures the parents of government's commitment to end insurgency, which is already yielding results. He says government is also committed to rebuilding the schools and other infrastructure as soon as security is restored. Dr. Bulama also visits internally displaced persons taking refuge in different camps and conveys President Jonathan's sadness and concern on their situation, promising their return to their communities soon. He says government's Marshall Plan of reconstruction and rehabilitation of insurgency-affected areas will soon commence, while the Tiwa Njuma Committee will alleviate their sufferance with distribution of relief materials. In a related development, the intense offensive by Nigerian troops of the 27th Task Force Brigade Damaturu has led to the recovery of communities after 9 months of occupation by Boko Haram insurgents.
The terrorists in this area have been dislodged, and there's a high level of alertness to prevent any recurrence of the activities in this area. Right now, the soldiers, even when we pin them down, they are ready to move forward as long as the area is not cleared.
Large cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered from the insurgents, while their flags and symbol of identity set on fire. Similarly, 8 people have been arrested by the Civilian Joint Task Force in Maiduguri, following the interrogation of 2 suspected bombers who confessed giving bombs to plant in the metropolis. To encourage women to maximize their potential for economic development, President Goodluck Jonathan has launched G-Win program in Abuja.
So far, the Digital Girls Club has made us realize our potentials in ICT. Aside this, it has changed our mindset towards ICT and given us a sense of confidence.
Government, they will never, ever forget what this government did to them. They are really appreciating the effort of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan for giving them their health, their hope, and their lives back to them.
These are some of the beneficiaries of the Growing Women and Girls in Nigeria program G-Win. It is an initiative not only for empowering young women and girls to be self-reliant and reduce poverty while improving their lives, but also making budget work for them. The pilot program, which started in 2013, is being administered through a tripartite memorandum of understanding between Ministries of Women Affairs and Finance and the implementing Ministries of Agriculture, Communication Technology, Health, Water Resources, and Environment.
Because I believe very sincerely, and most other countries' leadership do, that women and men must together move our society forward. And in any society that tries to sideline women or don't maximize the values we have in our women, of course, you are reducing your chances of growth. I totally believe that we must encourage our women.
We have a community of practice established by the President of the World Bank, Dr. Jim Yong Kim, of 10 international countries along these lines. So look at what was started here in Nigeria, what is growing. It has become something that is being adopted by other countries across the world.
3 women from 36 states of the Federation and FCT were trained in Nasarawa State. The project enabled the women to bid and secure contracts in any establishment.
Provide women with information that can empower them, that can give them the knowledge to change their lives. The first of these applications is called SHE, and SHE stands for Smart, Happy, Empowered Women. It's developed as a band of Smart Women Nigerian.
The GWIN program is sponsored out of the 3 billion naira fund announced by President Jonathan in the 2013 budget. Independent National Electoral Commission said it has taken a serious look at the high rate of smart card readers' failure to authenticate voter fingerprints in some areas, particularly Ebonyi State, and will investigate the case. Similarly, in its efforts to ensure credible and successful elections, the Commission's top functionaries from across the country and political party officials meet in Abuja to strategize towards the March 28th and April 11 polls.
We assure Nigerians that we in the Independent National Electoral Commission are committed to conduct the 2015 general elections and make them the best elections so far in the history of our country.
Logistics, technicalities, and card readers top discussions at the closed-door meeting.
Our party supports the use of the card reader. We think it's a very good and important improvement on the integrity of the accreditation and voting process.
And if there is any way they can do it without bringing in the card reader in order not to cause chaos at the polling stations, let that be done.
We are not against the use of any technology that will ensure free, fair, and credible election in this country. But anything that will lead to disenfranchisement of voters in this country must be properly reviewed.
Because if we make major mistakes, if the mistakes is above 10%, it's going to cause a lot of crisis.
We have advised that the card reader should be discarded for this election.
Now the news continues.
Ensuring the Nigerian education system to curb youth restiveness and empowering the women and youth for productive ventures will remain key to the PDP when President Jonathan is re-elected. Nigeria's First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan made the promise while addressing PDP women in Benin, Edo State, in continuation of the PDP Women National Rally. Dame Patience Jonathan further assured Nigerian women of 45% affirmative action and promised to address the issue of unemployment as well as maternal and child mortality.
School is good for our children, and school is good for us. That's why in the whole federation, when he came in, he put university in every state, federal university, that our children should go to school, our children should go and learn. The same time, recently, he approved 9 private universities again.
The PDP faithful who spoke at the rally were unanimous in commending the PDP-led federal government for transforming the country with preference to women.
Future leaders to toe the line of PDP members in other parts of the country to vote PDP.
Because of all these things when the Maoka Jonathan they do, that is why we in Edo State have said, Mr. President, we want you to continue. We stand for continuity.
Imagine all the major ministries, they are being manned by women. So we thank you.
We have our 35%, but I can assure you, Mama Peace herself will tell you all, we're heading for the sky. And for us Nigerian women, it is forward what? Ever.
Dame Patience Jonathan witnessed the defection of 3 princes of the Benin Kingdom from the APC to PDP. The Nigerian food industry is one area.
To her, and I thought to myself, if she's doing so much, going around so much for her husband, she's doing the work, she's not sitting back. I think it's time to make up my mind to join this party. And my brothers are here. My brothers are here, and I'm sure everybody knows what the Omonoba gave to the president. It is not a lie, it's a fact. I'm sure it's known to everybody. To the Benin people, they know the significance. To the Benin people, we tell you, we are for Jonathan. Otuoke people are from Benin.
The Nigerian food industry is one area. Sorry, this is where we'll round it up for tonight. For now, thank you for staying tuned. Good night.